Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I really think you must be feeling happy right now because you are here joining me with another one of my English videos. If you remember recently, I was meeting up with some of my lovely students in Paris. Well, today I am in another city, a city that is slightly closer to home but is still a very long way from Much Wenlock. Today I am in a place that many people used to refer to as the Big Smoke, even though these days it is not as dirty as it used to be. I'm in the capital city of the UK, which of course is London.
Mind the gap.
The City of London is the capital of the UK. It is the political and financial centre where most of the big decisions are made and where equally large amounts of money is invested. It is a vibrant metropolis with many places to visit and lots to do whilst there. Just like most large cities, London attracts millions of tourists each year to its bright lights and hustle and bustle. Behind me you will see something that is a very common sight around London these days. Lots of these electric bikes that are standing around on the street corners, and it is possible to actually hire these bikes for maybe an hour or a couple of hours, and amazingly enough you might think that this particular hire service would be expensive, but in fact it is not. It's only a couple of pounds for half an hour, and during that time you can ride around Hyde Park, you can enjoy the scenery of London, and there are many safe places also for you to ride around on. So if the roads of London concern you, then you don't need to be worried at all, because there are lots of lovely cycle lanes for you to enjoy as well. Having mentioned cycle transport in London, it would only be fair to also mention the most well-known transport system in the capital city. That is, of course, the Underground, or as it is often referred to as, the Tube. The London Underground system is the oldest of its kind in the world, having first opened in 1863 and being adapted later to electric in 1890. The London Underground has become the iconic emblem of this famous city, along with the often seen London double-decker buses. Various lines serve the capital in all directions, with over 270 station stops, served on average by over 540 trains every day. The oldest section of line forms part of what is now known as the Circle Line. The most recent to open, the Elizabeth Line, began operation in 2022. The Elizabeth Line originally ran as 3 sections, with the final part opening in May 2023. Over 2 million people use the tube network every day, and for many commuters it is still the most convenient way of getting around London. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan out and about in London. I've decided to come to the West End. This is Leicester Square, the place where all the theatres are, the entertainment hub if you will. The word hub means a collection of things that are all situated in one place. So you can describe Leicester Square and also the West End of London as the entertainment hub. There are lots of theatres, lots of places to entertain yourself at. We also have lots of street performers as well. Oh, there you are. How nice to see you here again. I'm in another part of London now. This is a place where people like to sit. They like to watch the waterfalls and the fountains, and there is one right behind me at the moment. There is also a man, a very famous man, looming up above. Can you see him? There he is, keeping watch over this area. It is, of course, Lord Nelson himself. This is, of course, Trafalgar Square, commemorating the Battle of Trafalgar. There are many lovely buildings around here to look at. As I mentioned, there are fountains, there are also lots of sculptures as well. Right behind me, that is the National Gallery, a very popular tourist destination. You might also notice at the moment there is a lot of renovation work taking place. Now, this is something I also noticed when I was in Paris. I did notice that there were many buildings that were being renovated. And I have to be honest, if you are travelling thousands of miles to a city and you want to see one particular building, I can only imagine the disappointment you feel when you get there and you find that your favourite monument has been covered with tarpaulin and scaffolding and is being slowly chipped away. We interrupt this video lesson to bring you some breaking news. A very strange man from YouTube is now hanging around outside BBC Broadcasting House in London. The suspect has been named as Mr. Duncan, a very strange man who apparently is walking around London talking to himself. If anyone sees this man, please be sure to stay very far away. It would be hard to show the sights of London without mentioning the grandest of all the landmarks. Of course, we are talking about Buckingham Palace, the official ceremonial residence of the serving monarch. With its grand approach and splendid gardens welcoming millions of tourists every year, it is hard not to be overawed by the sight of this building. Originally built in 1703, the then titled Buckingham House was constructed on land that had been previously owned by, amongst others, Edward the Confessor, William the Conqueror, and the monks of Westminster Abbey. The building as it stands now is very different from how it originally looked. Large extensions were added, and much later the front facade was altered, with the addition of the now iconic royal balcony. These alterations were made so as to make the building seem more palace-like. The monarch does not always stay at the palace. When in residence, the royal standard flag is flown above to show that the monarch is there. Since 1997, the Union flag is flown when the sovereign is not in residence. Many important ceremonies take place at Buckingham Palace, some of which can be viewed from a distance by the public. There are even parts of the palace open to the general public to visit at certain times.
Mind the gap.
Okay, I decided to take a risk. I'm here now in Piccadilly Circus. A lot of people said, Mr. Duncan, you must go to Piccadilly Circus. Please go to Piccadilly Circus. The only problem is, Piccadilly Circus is a very busy place. As you can see behind me, there is a lot of hustle and bustle. Of course, a lot of people think of Piccadilly Circus when they think of the large billboards, the advertising screens behind me. Can you see them flashing away? So I might get some sponsorship for this video, who knows? Piccadilly Circus is one of the busiest junctions in central London, as it is the intersection of 5 main roads. The lead through of Regent Street to Regent Street St James, Piccadilly, Shaftesbury Avenue and Coventry Street. Haymarket also runs in the direction of Piccadilly Circus as well. The most notable sights on the circular junction are the bright LED signboards and the Shaftesbury Memorial Fountain. The bright billboards were first used in 1908 with the placement of an advertisement for Perrier water. The bright signage has been scaled back over the years and now only occupies one building. These days, one sophisticated high-definition display is used to show the various advertisements at the same time. The Shaftesbury Memorial Fountain sits slightly off-centre in Piccadilly Circus. It used to be right in the middle, but was repositioned after World War II. On top of the fountain perches a statue, which is often incorrectly named as Eros, the god of love. However, this is not so. The statue is in fact a depiction of the brother of Eros, Anteros, the avenger of unrequited love. My mother used to say to me, when people were coming in and out of the house all the time, she used to always complain. She used to say that the house was turning into Piccadilly Circus. A lot of people will use that phrase when they are talking about a situation where there are lots of people coming and going. If there is a lot of hustle and bustle, you might say that it is a little bit like Piccadilly Circus, which is where I am right now. Finally, we will look at the district where all the big decisions are made concerning the population of this here country. This is Westminster, situated near the River Thames, which serves as the political hub of the capital. A busy district for many reasons, Westminster has lots of interesting buildings to view and explore. The well-known landmarks include Westminster Abbey, the setting for many occasions: royal weddings, royal funerals, royal coronations. Almost everything royal and regal has occurred there. Of course, the most photographed and admired landmark in this area must be the place that serves as the seat of power and privilege. The original Westminster Palace was constructed 1,000 years ago, and the site was originally intended as the residence of the reigning monarch. The building we see today was constructed over 180 years ago as a replacement for the previous building, which was destroyed in a fire. Parliament now sits in the large chamber, which is divided into two houses, the House of Commons and the House of Lords, one formed by elected representatives in one chamber and a group of unelected peers in the other. The most striking feature of Westminster Palace is the large clock tower, originally known as St Stephen's Tower. It was later renamed the Elizabeth Clock Tower in tribute to the then monarch Queen Elizabeth II. Inside the clock tower hangs the famous bell known as Big Ben, although these days most people mistakenly refer to the whole clock tower by that name. It is interesting to note that parts of the original medieval structure still exist, as they were integrated into the new design. More recently, some of the original stonework on the outside of the building had to be replaced due to excessive pollution. More renovation work will soon take place, forcing both Houses of Parliament to find a new place to meet, possibly outside London.
Mind the gap.
There are many places and activities I didn't get to explore or do in London that deserve an honourable mention. Places such as Hyde Park, the Tower of London, Oxford Street, the British Museum, the London Eye, Tower Bridge, Madame Tussauds, Kew Gardens, the Parliament Tour, Shard View, afternoon tea at Claridge's, a boat cruise along the Thames, the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace, and many other things guaranteed to make your head spin. One thing is for sure, you can't do London in a week.
Mind the gap.
I am at the moment in Leicester Square. No, I'm not. Well, that was a mess.